Na ena me pesa wo de je me pa my prayer my power na yenko. My prayer my power.
Courage in the Lord. Do not look at that situation. Do not look at that problem. Do not look at that dry land.
Prayer is seeking for something, asking someone, asking for something, looking for a particular thing. Thank you.
PCTV, impacting through the gospel.
Na ena me pesa wo de je me pa my prayer my power na yenko. My prayer my power.
Courage in the Lord. Do not look at that situation. Do not look at that problem. Do not look at that dry land.
Prayer is seeking for something, asking someone, asking for something, looking for a particular thing. Thank you.
PCTV, impacting through the gospel.
Na ena me pesa wo de je me pa my prayer my power na yenko. My prayer my power.
Courage in the Lord. Do not look at that situation. Do not look at that problem. Do not look at that dry land.
Prayer is seeking for something, asking someone, asking for something, looking for a particular thing. Thank you.
PCTV, impacting through the gospel.
Jumedie, Numekua Esoya Snene, Bembeni Travel and Consult, Freob Automation Limited, Hemco Enterprise, Lightest Multimedia, Prissy Logistics, Kenley Company, Reps Household, E-Fashion and Boutique, Decovast Enterprise, and above partners.
Hello, good evening, and welcome once again to the Health Talk Show. Viewers, we are very thankful that you've made time to join us today. It's our 1-year anniversary, and we thank you so much for being with us the whole of the year. Thank you for your support, for your comments, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. As we always start, our vision is to make the name of Christ known throughout the world. We would like to acknowledge Apostle Mrs. Bernice Agyemang Prempeh and Mr. Benjamin Agyemang Prempeh. We thank them for giving us this platform to share the little that we know. Promised Land Faith Ministries has 3 branches. The first one is the Faith Temple, which is located behind the Gold Filling Station, Tema Community 1. The second one is the Dominion Temple, which is located at Doyimu off the Shy Hills Akosombo Road. And then the Victory Temple, located at Ashama 40 Rooms, Atadeka, Koko Junction. Our weekly programs are as follows. On Mondays, we have online Bible studies between the hours of 7 to 8 p.m. On Wednesdays, we had Faith Hour at the Faith Temple, which starts at 10 a.m. and ends at 2 p.m. On Fridays, we have our Manifestation Half Night, which starts from 7 p.m. But every last Friday of the month, we have our Dominion all-night service and waiting at the Dominion Temple in Doyimu. Sundays, we have 2 victory services. The first one is at the Faith Temple in the morning between the hours of 8:30 to 12 p.m. And in the evening, we have it at the Victory Temple between the hours of 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Please like, share, and subscribe so that others will be a blessing as you have always been blessed. On PCTV, we have the following program. On Mondays to Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., we have Visitation Hour with Apostle Mrs. Bernice Agyemang Prempeh. But due to our fasting and waiting Fresh Fire program, it has been shifted to 11 p.m. in the evening to 11:30 p.m. in the evening to 12:30 a.m. from Mondays to Thursdays. On Wednesdays, we have Exaltation Drive Time with a Rama, which starts at 7 p.m. And on Thursdays, between the hours of 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we have Inspirational Hour with Pastor Jessica. Today, as I said, it marks the 1-year anniversary of PCTV. Thank you all for your support. Please like, share, and subscribe. Today on our program, we have Madam Sabina Nkrumah, who is here to discuss with us the topic, pregnancy and its related issues. So I would like to introduce her, and then we'll quickly go over the sponsors for the program. Madam Sabina, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much that when we called on you, you answered, and today you are here to share with us pregnancy and its related outcomes so that others will be blessed. Those who are pregnant will be blessed.
Exactly.
Yes, and those who are planning
To be, I like the word planning. I
yes.
prefer those who are planning because if you're already pregnant, you're already there.
Yeah.
But if you are yet to get pregnant, then that is where the business really starts.
Yes. Then you could put all the measures in place so
before you get
yes,
pregnant.
you have a
Yes.
successful pregnancy.
Exactly.
Okay, we thank you so much. So we will quickly go over the sponsors, then we can start with our discussion.
Okay.
Jumedie, Numekua Esoyas Nene, Bembeni Travel and Consult, Friob Automation Limited, Hemco Enterprise, Lightest Multimedia, Prissy Logistics, Kenley Company, Reps Household, E-Fashion and Boutique, Decovas Enterprise, and Abab Partners.
For joining
Let it
us.
be.
We thank you. I would like to say a very big thank you to all our sponsors for helping us come this far. Without their support, we wouldn't have been here on live for a whole year. So we thank them so much for their support and for all they do. And we pray that God will bless them so that they will continue to support this program and so that others will also be blessed. Thank you all once again. Madam Sabina,
Yes, please.
so let us start.
Okay.
And I'm going to play the devil's advocate and ask what pregnancy is.
Okay.
Yes. So what is pregnancy?
So when we say pregnancy, in a layman's understanding, is the bringing out of a new creature into the world. So, and it's also planned between a man and a woman. Nowadays, it's almost sometimes also can also be planned by the woman alone. But in God's natural wisdom, it is the doing of the man and the acceptance of the woman that can bring out a human being into the world or a fellow creature into the world. So it can be animal or human being. All right.
Okay.
So that is pregnancy.
That is pregnancy. Okay. So today we are going to discuss pregnancy in humans.
Yes.
Okay. But you've made us understood that it's bringing a new creature into the world.
Exactly.
So just like we have the seed time and then we have the harvest time.
Exactly.
Yes, so during the seed time, we have the sperm and the egg coming together, which fertilize and then results in pregnancy. Okay, so when we talk about pregnancy and its related issues, what are some of the things that come to mind? So I'm asking so that you are the experts. You can give us because we know there are a lot of things that can happen, but then there are salient issues, things that we could prevent, and things that will be like super helpful to viewers to hear. So when we say that pregnancy and its related issues, in the first place, what do we mean by that before we go through the various
So
things?
what we mean by pregnancy and its related issues is that, ideally, the moment a woman gets married, it is expected that the woman gets pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want just a woman to get pregnant. With me especially, I want we the women, because we are the carriers of the whole burden, have to go through some things to realize that we are emotionally stable to go through pregnancy. We are mentally stable to go through pregnancy. Health-wise, we are fit enough to go through pregnancy. And financially, we are financially sound to go through pregnancy, because pregnancy comes with a whole lot of baggages. Now, it is not just the act of meeting a man, a spermatozoa meeting the egg to no. It is not just that act. That is a phenomenon that will definitely happen. But what really happened inside the woman for the baby to be mentally okay and stable to be born into the world is what I am much interested in.
Yes.
We always talk about changing the world, changing the world. Where do we start changing the world? It is something that most people have not looked into. But those who know, if I say those who know, those who really know the effects of a woman having a sound pregnancy life is reaping the benefits of those effects now. Because they have put in measures in place that to make sure that even if a woman is pregnant, one, you don't talk to that woman anyhow. Even if the woman slaps you, you say thank you. Even if it's the woman offends you, the moment the woman becomes pregnant, you don't humiliate or insult that woman because they know that it wouldn't just affect the woman, but will affect whichever feature that is coming out. But here in our settings, we don't give that record. We don't give that much importance. So these are some of the related issues that is socially we are facing now. Because one, some of the issues is a woman will get pregnant, suffer tirelessly to take care of herself in her pregnancy, especially if the man is not stable enough to help financially. This woman will go through all this stress by herself, thinking it is by herself, but it is not just by herself. It is two people going through suffering together. So one, that fetus in utero has already gotten tired of the environment because the child is not having a peaceful life in utero. Remember, some time back I tell you that the baby in utero don't just stay there, eat what the mother eats. Not just that.
I think that was last week. Just last week when
we're talking about breastfeeding.
Yeah.
The baby doesn't just eat what the mother is eating. Whatever the mother is doing, the baby takes part. So if the mother is struggling, the baby is taking part. If the mother is sad, the baby is taking part. Whatever the mother is thinking, the baby is taking part in those activities.
Okay.
So what am I giving? If you are pregnant when you are listening to me right now, ask yourself, what am I thinking about? Is it hatred? Because if you are thinking about hatred, then exactly that baby is also harboring hatred.
Yeah.
If it's talking about love, exactly the baby is also harboring love. So you realize that in our daily lives, you get to meet somebody, and all of a sudden you hate the person. Nipan omo until on count, but naturally we will. How do you develop hatred for somebody that you've never met before?
Yeah.
It is something that inwardly has already been established that there's something called hatred. So whoever carries, they say, who the cap fits, let them wear. So if, let's say, the person that your mother hated when you were pregnant looks similar to whom you've met currently, then they call it transferring of heat, is transferred onto that person. Or more until on count on Jill Sika on Yahweh, such as before. Do you get it? These are some of the related issues that most of Africans, let me say that way, we don't take consideration about. Now, when you go there, over there, those who have known the impact of women, you can see in their daily life things are going on because they don't just get pregnant. Even when they get pregnant, they have pregnancy classes that they attend. They don't just attend, they go with their spouse. So inward, the baby coming already has some affection for the father already. Here in our setting, fortunately, at my end in Nabita, we have the pregnancy school. You invite the men, they don't even come. It is the same women that will come for antenatal, that will come and sit for the daddy's clinic.
Wow.
So you just imagine this. If you are a child and you are utero, you've seen that a nurse has invited your father to come to learn something about you coming. And your father doesn't end up showing up. But the same mother who went for the letter shows up. What do you think the child in utero would think? Because 70% of your brain develops in utero. So what would you think about?
Wow. That probably, as you even feel rejected, even before you come out to meet the person.
Does this man really want me? Am I really welcome? Will I be accepted? So a whole lot will be going through the child's mind.
Yeah.
So you realize that in some settings, a child will see the father, a baby, and they say onsre, as a omuna na or yet facial gesture be. Like I say, when you only but he doesn't know how to express it.
Yeah.
Because the mother, in a way, didn't say it outwardly, but came to the school and realized other men are there. In in a conclusion, my father is always busy. So you realize that this child will grow. The father will be there, but will still want the mother to do something for the mother, because what if from you to say, Papa is busy. And on funny how crampo on exactly. That relationship has been. These are some of the related issues that comes with pregnancy. It is not. I always tell men, women don't tell their children, even when the father buys it. No. I will tell your father about it. They will tell you your father bought it. But that love that you are fighting to get does not only come out when baby is out.
Yeah.
You build that love when the baby is in utero.
And that is what like
most men don't do.
Yeah.
Not just any people, many, because they are the Bible says they are the head of the family. Just as Christ is the head of the church, so is the man the head of the family. Now, I'll tell you what, Christ has never closed his eyes, even though we are sinners. He looks over us every now and then, but men close their eyes. They are trying to take responsibility as God, because God said they should be as him. But they are not behaving as God. They are letting the world direct their path, forgetting their responsibility in a child's life. Now, I always say this. It's not always about money.
Yeah.
Because I know somebody who had it. If I say had it in abundance, that if well managed, can feed to the next 10th generation. And I know somebody too who never had it. But if it's just 1 penny, the children are content with it.
Yeah.
And they that have it in abundance always fight over it, because they still want more. They say Oliver Twist always ask for. They still want more. They are not satisfied, because in their settings you always have to get more. That is what they grew up to know. But that is not it. If it is 1 penny, you need to be appreciative, because just as one is struggling to have it, one is also not having it. And those that struggle to have it don't sometimes even get it. And this can only be understood better when, whilst a woman is pregnant, those communications start.
And like, okay, you finish with what you are about to say.
I wanted to give you an example.
Yeah.
I have 2
Finish
kids.
with that.
I have 2 kids. My firstborn, it was my first pregnancy. So I would say, it is mine, it is mine. You are my son. I love you. You are just for me alone. I was showering this boy with love. But one thing the father does was, anytime he was around, I'm going for antenatal, he will accompany me.
Yeah.
He always goes with me to antenatal. If he's not there, he's not there. And tell you what, whenever he's not with me at antenatal and I go for antenatal, they don't hear the fetal heartbeat. I would have to go for a scan to prove that baby is okay.
Fine, yeah.
They don't hear the fetal heartbeat. But if the father is with me, they don't even just get the machine on my tummy, then you could hear the heartbeat.
Yeah.
So they always insult him. They always insult him. And I don't come upon or carry you. And they always say it. And I said, like, why? He just wants to acknowledge the father is around.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what. The father was always saying, when you are going to labor ward, I'll go with you. I'll go with you. So on the D-Day, it is allowed. So they had to prepare his things, the theater wear and everything for him to get ready for the labor ward. Now, this one was nowhere to be found. He vanished. And I went to labor ward alone. Now, baby was out. Mother is fine. Placenta is out. Baby is out. But as I came to sit here, baby wasn't crying.
Wow.
They were beating him here and there. It is a strategy for a baby to come out alive and not crying.
Yeah.
They were just beating him here and there. Then everybody was finding head scatter. Then the father just rushed in. Is baby out? Just that word, is baby out. And he made his first cry.
Yeah.
The way they beat him. So you were waiting for your father before. You were waiting for your father before. Everybody will come and hit him. And if you hit him, he will not cry. But the moment he hears the father's voice,
Then he cried.
he starts to cry. Yeah. Then I realized that he was acting because anytime he was going, the father was there. So why is that this very moment that he's coming, the father is not around?
Yeah.
Now that was to me. I had a client who also had the same issue. The same issue. Then it comes to a conclusion that whatever happens during pregnancy does not only end in pregnancy, but continues thereof. So what are we starting with pregnancy? If you know that the man is not always available, you should train yourself in a way that you make the child understand psychologically the reason why man is not available. You don't just assume, allow the child in utero to assume whatever he wants to assume, because whatever the child assumes, you can't change it. You can't change whatever the child thinks. it is on an opinion. You can democracy starting from you too. You can't change it.
And the thing is, with when it comes to psychology, it's more of because it happened in there. It's on the subconscious.
You
mind.
can't change it.
So it's not something that the child can even express, like when baby's out or there's something comes out. But then when something triggers it, it just comes
exactly,
because it's there. So whilst the child was in there, was exposed to that, it's there, stored somewhere.
Safely, it is covered.
A trigger comes out, now it comes.
Now, when does that trigger always come out? When these children are out, and let's say, mommy is busy naturally, and daddy is just there. That it just triggers that, oh, no wonder. It is just a comment. Maybe that very moment you're in a very serious meeting and they are disturbing you. Naturally, they had to leave. So you push them away. But the moment you say that, it triggers it subconsciously that, oh, okay, I have seen this somewhere. Where did I see it?
Yeah.
Maybe mommy was in need of something. And daddy just was in a meeting but shouted at mommy. Oh, okay, then this man doesn't like me. Because if it wasn't for me, mommy would have gotten up to go and do that thing herself.
Yeah.
Even though maybe at that particular moment, now you were busy, but how did you frame it?
Yeah, that's simple.
A pregnant woman can be very irritating. Last time I made a comment at the pregnancy school and they were like, no, it's not true. I said it's true. Every pregnant woman is half mad.
Yes.
I made that when every pregnant woman is half mad. And they were like, I explained, I said, do you want me to explain? Then they tell that you are half mad. Because it is a statement that explains itself. You are half mad. If you are not half mad, how can you see somebody eating and all of a sudden you go for some person's food? It is madness. Yeah. Because it's only a mad woman who will just walk and see somebody eating and will snatch from the person. And the way they will come for the thing, as if it's for them. It is madness. It is only pregnant woman who will crave for something that is not eatable. Yeah. And will still enjoy it to the fullest. If you're saying something, okay, well, this thing is very don't ever ask a pregnant to taste your food for you. If you're cooking so, if you're saying chini wo more, sister, when you're money, it is only madness. Because I remember some time back with my first child, at late at 7, almost 9, I was going for jollof rice. And not just any jollof rice prepared with Kobe and kako. And I was like, I have to get it. And the man my husband was like, are you serious? I said, I need to get it. Go to the kitchen. So I stood up, went to the kitchen, prepared the jollof rice. Unfortunately for me, the following day, I was in labor. So I cooked the jollof rice with the kako and the Kobe all together. And I added salt again. And I felt so good eating it. Some left. So when labor starts, he packed them nicely and put it down. After delivery, and I came myself, well, I need to eat. Also, don't worry, there's food for you.
There's food.
So he brought the food. So I said, what is this? I said, oh, it is very nice. You will enjoy. So I took one. What is this? You are not, but you opened your legs wide and you were enjoying. You were funny yourself. I said, me. So I should have taken a video of you. This is absolutely madness. That is pregnancy. So if such madness is there, and if you are a man and you are not careful, you will say something that which inwardly will affect the woman, but will affect the child more. Because just as I forgot that I prepared the jollof myself, definitely that is why women forget labor pains.
Yeah.
That is why women forget labor pains. Because if I don't forget labor pains, how will I get pregnant again? Yeah. Nobody would like to get pregnant again. But because we forget labor pains, but babies don't forget what they kept in their subconsciousness. Yeah, so if it doesn't go. So if you don't take care, you will end up hurting the baby, not the woman, because the woman would never forget. Would never forget whatever she did. But will the child forget? No, because that child is building his or her mind. That child is building his or her mind. So whatever you say or do, it is building on. You will just build on it.
So let me go back to, because Osha Seno, you mentioned say, although you name say Obi Warrior I was so it's good to plan. And I think say it's the planning that helps with everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yes, because and you say nyasika na emro so
Debbie
we decide say
Debbie
but at least no idea of okay say minyima e bia say ni say na me hia kakra wo ho at least ana say me ye adwuma kakra me kun so we adwuma kakra and you say abro so but ye will be mentally no am I okay
exactly
physically am I okay well you are looking at all these things and they are planning no you can't be I couldn't tell my sign change but and say obi oha you can't like we mention planning no na dream say e was so far paper be and now
no. What any I'm the best expert.
But you know the thing is even baby I was so be sound say seminyima he fana
me continent
yes
and poye
because you want to as much as possible try and involve the man
exactly
inti ebia oh hospital way bay me mako ye inquiries ye antenatal bibia ye fine my ye me investigation me hu aha say no me kun betumi akọ ana say ebia hospital na e wa ha na e be me kun ejuma e be easy no I the way involved what planning what she says aniama we na inti anu no e boa ma say ahochi kakra bi po wo ha because oh physically you've planned health wise you've planned financially psychologically even spiritually
exactly
you have to plan because one plan yeah it will affect you throughout the pregnancy and I like the fact say you always like it's a constant thing with you whenever say uma it's if one who say whatever we do affects the baby like obi wo hwa obi say oh yeah kind of keke so whenever you keep saying it, you keep saying it no so be real if you cry is a reminder
exactly
that be careful because whatever you are doing no it be affected no okay now I want you to groupie like what you've talked about no so that it will be easier for saying bedding on bekai inti me person over can to say be health wise then preparation it psychologically the being preparation even the physical nyama here near the then preparation in a like bibisa so that it will be more way for omo mutie ni say on bedding omo ebe follow but before that na my main share time na main share say was say ye call break and sana na ye nko break na ye call break ne ba na afidi ya kanisa na nkofo ayeden atiase okay so viewers here that was say mutin besi samrewe ye call break kakra na ye ba to say the me kan ye no na ye groupie na matiase ye asema ye kan because eye bibia ehia me pa e na wo hwe so a anti sabai na de ehia no more than ehia kra we nti ye da mo stay tuned we'll be with you shortly.
PCTV, impacting through the gospel. 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 PCTV, impacting through the gospel.
say mo ye call break no mo tena ho na mo train yen ansa na ye resume no mo program na ye the bar screen ne so no ye fresh fire 21 days fast na ye sese mo na mbe join ye started last week Monday. You really 1 week, but still like 2 weeks. It's never too late for you to join. As Christians, no, you hear fresh fire. Ama ye niama ayeden akwenim. Say a drew baby now feel say baby makawo baby ame wona na che say wo hia fresh fire. A drew baby now feel say mean to me mom pie to say the way ame bomb pie now wo hia fresh fire. Wo hia fresh anointing say be den ebeba umonti. May invite you so be join here 21 days fasting and prayer no na yes start here be end day 1st September into joining in na last day no ye na ye be shia e wo doyimu na ya da nyame asese ye ba nanim no wa grantee your request. Okay, inti Auntie Sabina.
Yes, mama.
Yako yaba. Inti sisi ano to say the ye kan yansa na ye kono. Say yebe groupino na aye easier ama etiefo na omo atiase. Inti o catch maybe ayebe starting no na ye nhwe.
Okay, inti say wo ka me cast the first no na nka yes really oba ne bema. But enam abefo kwan so no oba to me e call for insemination. Na we onya we fa de yefunu abema bia nka ho. So before you think of getting pregnant, one as oba you need to go through medical examination. Ade ba kwa ehia e woni nsemu pa e HB.
Nti we no ye can
medical yes.
Now health
yes in general. We here yes.
When you saying okay.
You need who HB level. Pregnancy started with less than 11 grams of blood is always a fighting HB. You always have to struggle because sa moja na ho de na akwa age na so dey develop. So if you began with 10.5 or 10.8, some even began as low as 7.5.
Wow.
That is so ignorant of some women. Any mistakes can man be here. Now, if you should begin with 7.5, this fetus is going to develop on your blood. And to say it's 7.5, now say we try ye. Now say you are pregnant with twins or quadrupeta. 7.5 divided by 3.
Hey.
Plus some other for a binka. So such person, you are always tired. You are always weak. You are always, it's like one guy's life are redundant. Well, life are basa because you are not having a peaceful pregnancy. Now, you want or more blood issue, like sickle cell, they are there. But if you are not a sickle cell person, let's say you will behave like a sickle cell person. Until you be a sickle cell person, until you so you should know first who HB level is very important. Very, very important. Because it's the same age that is going to help the child develop the brain. And the question be no my born with school no. Mommy and you 40. If you pregnancy. And the be share mother somebody tizi say o ba nye na ma bo meka sa na aye. Because one wound di o say common de. I can't say nin mu ye ntwe me common de wa sant whether common di we common di wo. Say wo na common de wa fit so we fun na common de no say udidi. Say at least ba ko say udidi. They will testify. Tell them if your child should come out na say wa born meka say ma me na ye unya meka kire no. Or low bet meka kire no. Or your ba particular so low bet with her. Automatically or no so nebo be won be low bet weight. A hereditary low bet weight is hereditary in girls. And I will say so. And now, who is my partner? Are we compatible? Do I know my partner's sickle cell status? Because if say me ye ASR, at least I say my partner ye AA. At least I saw ye AA. And when ye AA and me wokra. Because say me ASR krampo minimum me fem. That's my partner ye AA. Sister, me kwaya na say me buy. Because you should know your status and know that of your partner. It's also very important. Now, after all this is said and done, Miss Rawa, menyemwa hena metna. My brother Mekon is saying, so socially, because remember, whatever you do whilst you are pregnant, socially affects your child in utero. So what will be my plan when I get pregnant? How will I spend my day? Will I always spend it on phone? Now, let me give you an example. With my first son, we bana bikuta phone. Ne papa kuta phone. Now it me bo game up to 12 a.m. Say game na TV. Enye TV na e book. Ebi me won some book and I say, but so me aso me report na be won some book. Now aside that no, it is TV and game. Now I tell you what, this my son what me man aduane ndi fa phone kuta no. Eno no. Wa men. I literally have to force him that if you don't eat, I will not give you the phone. And I say phone kuta na I say we were cartoons. And either cartoons or games. That was exactly what I was doing when I was pregnant. So I just look at him and I say, oh, this is my doing. So I need to find a way to take it out of him. It is my doing. It will be very difficult to take it out of him. Because what's them more for good 9 months. And 9 months is like 9 years or 9,000 years. Depending on that child's life on earth. And all my children didn't go through 9 months. I didn't go through 10 months, 4 days. So for 10 months, this boy have seen phone, TV, phone, TV, phone, TV. Less book, phone, TV, phone, TV. That is what I did.
Yeah.
Less food. So he doesn't even care about food. That was me. Now with my second child, I was a mistake. With my second child, no. Always reading. Always reading. Now that's exactly what I have incorporated in her. Let everybody play. Even when she's by the TV, she's having a book. The moment she gets home, she takes a book. And he read it and I will look at her, so do you like learning? And I said, oh, it's not her. It is what I taught her to do. I taught her to do that. So whatever you do socially affects your child. So if you are pregnant and you always hang around people who are gossips, you give birth to journalists. You give birth to journalists. And if you are pregnant, you are always among people who always argue. You give birth to a lawyer because they will always argue their case out. If you are pregnant, you always socialize yourself quiet, you give birth to an antisocial person because you always keep to yourself. So how do I live it? How will I live my pregnancy life? Believe me or not, if people are calling in right now to testify to what I'm saying, it is 1 in a million that will take it to. Now let me give you a particular example. Akwala young teenager no china of voso. Oye petre. Or what the banana onyika cross is saying. Petre sa. Just a marku 1 in a million. And na Nyankopon hwe a akwala we mama na anya kronkron abusu okopie mu de enye e no obeye kronkron ono ye ne de obeye kronkron na se nyame amam na se socially in your who you're doing pregnancy na obeye bi. That is why you cannot always get a prostitute child becoming a pastor, because she was delivered at the nightclub or he was delivered at the nightclub, and it's always it only takes the grace of God to pull them out of there. So socially, who am I going to surrender myself with? Because if you want to give birth to somebody who is very intelligent, then you have a lot to do. You need to put in more effort whilst you are pregnant. When the child is out, it's only a top-up. When baby is out, you only top up. Hey, whoop and you call the best school. So when you one kind book da, it is only 1 in a million. And until it's a 4 man will be now born. And yes, almost shed out. On my many one kind book da. On one kind shade da. Won't teach any about bonda. It is 1 in a million better when we born. Teach any about born. It is 1 in a million. Also, maybe in the previous life, no born that no. But say if on your only previous life, teach any baby because from day 1 of pregnancy, original classroom, or child teach any baby as a bully.
Not me, Chawa, no. Yeah, kind of saying most of the time, no, you see, say, oh, wait, oh, yeah, teacher, never subeni, no, I teacher, no, doctor, never been, so, Obi, like I say, it runs in the family.
It doesn't run, it is planned. It doesn't run. If they have their way, they will do something else. But that is what they came to know.
That's the norm.
It is the norm. So my father literally warned me that I shouldn't be a police officer. And I was like, how? Why? So I asked my mom, I didn't pass mommy a police officer. So I no camera. And told him, say, also on camera. I'm passing in camera. Because me who said the way me and say best of the part me yet sometimes to me and quasi argument I give what does it benefit? It doesn't benefit. I am the kese me. That is the norm. Hey, me two way me the man no be ko to kwapa say me dem sabe ko kam yale. Me fam say ko ne am. So I asked my mom, I didn't say na me be sika me pena me say no one na to be try that pan say me ko there say me ko kwa report to police station. Say me ko because or poor maybe just say we proud.
Yeah.
Until we make the person police me who time no, then I have to take off my anger. And it's true. One time in secondary school, I nearly killed somebody.
Wow.
Out of anger. And to me, fat table say, hey, now then my subconscious, because I had warned myself I need to take care of myself. My subconscious told me, my friend, if you hit her, she would die because the anger of which I made the far dear no. Made the monarch it was just a business argument. And you know, girls in secondary school, we do make unnecessary fight. Yeah. So I was like a boy. Me a masculine, the school, oh, now my body was said myself. Until now, me teacher be the no from the lady with the muscular body. I agreed because it was a teacher. And we as students don't frame me when you're saying. And who now who from muscle, who so to say muscle, but no from muscle body, let me buffo ye. It was a simple understanding, but I remember my mom told me the buffo ye until okay. My family said, Matilda, why are you lucky, Papa? Me young people in the market, me bow and straight to cemetery, I said also straight to prison. I heard my mom say, I'm pound campus to come in prison. Now that is something that I have been told.
Yeah.
How many of us can boldly tell our children that hey, many more na me no monsapa? As many more na me do kwa sapa. How many of us? We can't do that because we can't even remember. We did because pregnancy, as I said, we are mad. So after pregnancy, you are cured. All the madness is gone. So you need to be able to socialize with people that will put you on track.
Yeah.
People that will be of a constant reminder. Hey, where we know, then your subconsciousness will let the child know that there's do's and don'ts. There are do's and don'ts.
Right, you know, as someone who can't say about the people you surround yourself with. So there's a saying that it takes a village. Say like you saying now it takes a village. It's not just one person.
No.
And then when they talk about a village, and just say if you are
Debbie.
Around you now because they all contribute.
So last year, my last daddy's clinic in June, the slogan was men changing the narrative.
Yeah.
Friends, we will help through pregnancy. In-laws, we will encourage. Then myself, I will carry it to the end. That was my greetings. Wow. Then the hospital asked why this. And I say why this? And I said, why this? Why? Men, it is never done that a man will always go to antenatal. A man will always encourage the wife. It is never done. Some men don't know how to do it. Yeah. So we are changing the narrative where it is only the woman who carries the pregnancy for the whole 9 months. It's supposed to be my partner and I. So we are changing the narrative.
And Osha, there's a difference between say Africans, and I say Westerners also when a white person or a Caucasian is pregnant. Now
we are pregnant. We are pregnant.
Because
no. That is something they have understood.
Yes, but
and they are going forward.
Yeah, no, because
exactly. They have understood.
Yeah.
And believe me or not, whatever is happening in their country now, it is 100% based on women. Because if a woman has that sound pregnancy, it gives birth to a child who also have a sound mentality. So when that child is at the parliament house planning, our foresight, because the mother already pregnant had the foresight. Yeah. Whatever plan they are, who told them they should be racist?
It was something that was incorporated.
Exactly. And what the dream? Because as young as 5 years, 6 years, we'll see a black person to be racist. Because exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Now, it took about only few whites to abolish slave trade. It took about only few. Who share are those foreign those movies? And I won't say, "Obia bully to our blacks," but one particular person will be okay. Now, this particular person, when it's okay, black, then it followed. It took only a few group of some whites to change that village mentality of some whites. And those who refuse to change are now the racists.
Yeah. So now, I don't know how you say, changing the narrative, like men changing the narrative, when they come, with time, it becomes a norm. So those growing up,
will learn it. Say, our friend saw you no saw a boy.
Yeah. And even in Kola boys no. I feel now also or pick certain things. In Sabia or no him say but we who say
Ne papa ye.
oh yeah, or we so papa we so. So it gets to a point no edru ne so no. Although on we nya ne sa no, we who say as a bibia say bia time maybe time na ntisa, but see no sa na eti. So it's a good way to
changing the narrative.
Yeah. For
Now there's this video I saw on TikTok on my page. Now man be na yere airpra. Na opeja carpet e man na yere. Na yere prase. Ne opeja asuo ntumi peja na yere the body man ni peja man. The son was just there. So the following day when the father was sweeping and the father wasn't around, the boy did the same for the mother. And people were saying, "Oh, it's good. He learned from that." It's not that he learned. It is something that the man has been doing.
yeah.
Enti na abira wo no that ko pe no hu yo we hu pen.
Yeah, no, that's the normal.
The normal thing. Now I always say remember ye wo mo last no. Eyo mo nta nya caring. Remember mo ye last month. They are mo nta nya caring because enkofo wo mo enu mo ye pampo mo nto mo nya caring. But bema ye wo na bakan. Bema ye first son. Or when my second pregnancy. Or especially what the mother went through. And obwa wo fie. And it's only 1 in 10. Pen omo almost yet da. Because they saw what is going. That's or your first son. Once the mother incorporated every love and everything to the child. And he becomes so attached to the mother. So whatever the mother goes through, that boy also goes through. And such man, if you're married to such man, you will enjoy the same attachments like the mother, but you always find problem because whenever the mother coughs, he's there. You have to let's say you're a second wife. You have to believe that fact that you're a second wife. Because if the mother should cough, he's there. It takes the grace of God for the man to understand that I have a wife. So I need to focus on my wife. Either than that, you will always quarrel. Yeah. Not that was shedder, but oh yeah. What the mother had to go through, say, if the time you say, my man was 7 years, all the 6 pregnancies, he witnessed it. Yeah. So the mother's pain, it is pain. Unless the mother is dead, if the mother is still alive, you, the woman, will have a problem. So if you're changing the narrative, then all this will stop at a point in time. Yeah. Now, why am I saying mother-in-law's help? A mother-in-law will expect that what fear no. And so you're the mother ba. Also you we buy say opra. And so say fie. Se otiase say nyen obia ninsen na ye pa. Na bi ninsen eye na. Eye akwadworo, eye fi. Obi wo ha onyima wo prepare dem ama na enya ne for be fi. E fi no person otenem. And it's a mother-in-law what you say in a nice way, you will try to take them out of that pain. Yeah. So you need to understand and help. Debbie. What we feel crowded though, and I won't want one and I will me. And such saying you know, so as friends, why will we help? Now you know that pregnancy automatically and it's okay for baby that's one in a more. Now say a beer or be for ayilo. This stone, soft stone. Now what in Pefe say it doesn't have any nutritional benefits on the child. You don't always say anything. You don't even encourage to buy. Oh, okay, you want this. Why do you want it? You know, the moment you start talking with them, trying to ask for explanation, I think what's a great feel. So friends have to come in to help out. Then you, the woman, I will carry it to the end. What can I do to carry it to the end? Because just like the journey to Kumasi, somebody will drop at Abuabo, somebody will drop at Tech, somebody will drop at Nkoko, and you'll be the bedu Kumasi KJT.
Yeah, although I
never Kumasi car. And to target nehe. And I will carry okay, me person bikuta na minya 6 months ya maseno. I said person bikuta na ma will preterm. Nobody plans for preterm. So if you do your due diligence, let's say you pretermer, you even have the psychology to help it, to so carry it.
You know, there's a question which is related to the woman or buano. So say, why does the HB drop in pregnancy?
So as I was saying, when you have an HB of less than 11, baby is feeding on the HB for development. Baby need the feast on your HB for your development. It's definitely a bed dropping. Because if your brain a HB no bed to develop brain. And it's if a 10 and 10. So if this month the brain has to develop, it will develop on the HB. Obey you so HB to develop. And they say if you have low HB, it will keep on dropping. But say if on to me on your development we are there, then to either increase or stabilize. That is why HB drops. Because any point in time, the child, there must be a development. And when there's a development, the HB will have to be used for development.
And I know this doctor, I know mostly what he says is, Obama ni pata or ya ni say, what drop is sperm. But Sakolani be developing the bones, the BBA or chiefing the mammy home.
Exactly.
Intina Obi. Ebe worry ne aka say oh ntumi nso any name ebubu wa ye say ne
wagye ne nyina fima me nsem
ya wan hwe ne ho nti ti say the ye ka no in ye wom ya then ne ebetumi di ne sa de na ma ya prevent even the HB dropping.
So before you get pregnant, know your HB status. If your HB as a woman is less than 11 and you are not a sickle cell patient, don't get pregnant. Make sure at least you build your HB to at least when the one look do 12.
Okay.
Into a so tier and tier by that borderline which is 11. When the one crowd do 12.
And I mean him say well antenatal it's like a BBA mo checking.
Because I don't exactly. It is the first visit, then we make a follow up the following month, then at 20 weeks, 24 weeks, then at 36 weeks. It is that. Without HB, who are you? HB, who are you? Without HB, pregnancy is no pregnancy. It is a death trap. As some say, if HB nya enyem men ko continue kura men di na wanyem. Would you too free? Men man fertilize egg no. Make sure say because normally as a woman, ideally after every menstrual flow. After the last day of your menstruation, the following day, you need to take folic acid till you see your next menstruation, then you stop. Now, why do we do so? The reason people don't think about HB is this. They believe that when you are menstruating, it is a spoiled egg that comes out as menstruation. It is not true. It is blood that contains oxygen.
And see, the fact say, your period, no,
after a bed dropping.
Pregnancy into
a bed dropping. And so besha. Or baby the baby be no why basa. A bit take be 1 week to 2 weeks be answer was seen that day move you. Especially when you are ovulating. Most say for check akra because I say body to trim moja amane ho. I check akra bi. When you food do free period na fi I relax no as why normal bi. Until ovulate must no fuma you do. Body to trim moja amane ho. It is things most obo ha ovulate here or the deep papa. Most ovulate no why emre. Because the body is trying to survive.
Yeah.
In there, it is the survival of the fittest. The heart wants to survive. Your womb wants to everybody wants to survive.
No, that particular moment, no, I would say,
me exactly. Or yet prepared for a question to meet the sperm. I say, I shall one year or say them for clients. Be able to see her air freshness, see her way, see her also since on him say clients in the bar. That client is comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, when the client comes and gets to land, but when I show you what's now, not maybe a ma or Tnam Paneswa, and I made them one of men say, hey, Yentina, many clients, then I have to take their renovation. Then that is what ovulation comes in. Then you have to change ovulation. Then it says, so when the egg comes in there and doesn't meet any sperms, the movement in the uterus makes it cracks the uterus, leaves some like rough patches, causing wound in the womb. Now, God in His natural wisdom, there must not be no blood in the womb. So when you lay the egg, I'm explaining menstruation, maybe some other time we have to talk about it. When you lay the egg, it gets stuck, creates a wound in the womb. There is no sperms to mate it. Now, when there's no sperm to mate it and the egg turns into a follicle and absorbs back into the system. Chime asem bi esi ho say if enya sa so a na say e bia na bibi na anko yi so you need to see a specialist.
Okay.
Na ya hwe say wo bibia ye okay.
Yeah.
Now say wo lose sa mo jane be wi a abra mo jane ba no na repairs the other enzyme that responsible for repairs in terms of normal plaster
And also yeah,
to seal up the wood. And nothing na we your man is we are once the last day no I say towel will be and I said rubber be and then because that is the plaster they use to plaster the wood. Now if the egg should meet a sperm, now maybe a crony one when your chance are out as menses, then God in his natural wisdom will plaster the place with the placenta to cover the wound. And this is a baby trust can once you see placenta near posterior, anterior, because that is where the wound was.
Yeah.
So it has to cover it up, allowing God to the body to draw water this time because there's a baby to draw water for itself, which we call the okay. So the other thing now you've thought yaka afa.
Obema ni die no.
Kasa afa. We've done with the four.
Ah, na yaka in-laws ni so na yaka oba ni so. Okay, ni yaka. Se wo kọ throughout na say ubegina wo kwan so. Okay. Nti ende na e wo say ye hye sa niama we nso. Cause sa niama we na ebeboa na nyinsen no aye pepepe na afi so akwala no so aye de enyi yie na ne daache so aye den aye fine nti ye be call break shortly na ye ba na ya tua so na ya be ye kan bibia ya summarize bibia na ye de nde program no aba area. Okay, Auntie Sabina, intend ya baba ki yenka yen man sami take home message bina obi a weti bi at least kakra obi a fi no ba no so be take kakra na fi de ewie in the
okay, and see make kasa be we na make kasa. It is not always the woman's motive say obenya miscarriage na say obenya preterm delivery, but sometimes it is preventable.
Yeah.
And see most of the ways are the best way to prevent such things is men get involved in pregnancy. If it is a single pregnancy, fine. Then woman, take care of yourself. But if it's not a single pregnancy, it's a coupled pregnancy. It is no more her pregnancy, but a coupled pregnancy. Then please, men, get on board. Because when a woman is pregnant, they are half mad. they are, in fact, not half mad, they are totally mad. So don't just leave it for them to decide.
Yeah.
Then that they'll give birth to a child who is already stubborn from YouTube. Because one of the characteristics of a pregnant woman is stubbornness. They'll give birth to a child who is already stubborn from YouTube, and there's nothing you can do, only take the grace of God. So don't leave it for women alone to handle it. These are some of the things that can be considered before pregnancy, so that we'll have a very good generation. Because if you have a very understanding pregnancy, then be sure that you have a very good understanding generation, that even when you blink your eyes, they will understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And many J initiative no for Father's Way class, Daddy's Clinic no many J initiative ne ho pa. Inti etie for ansana yebe kono mepe se yebe da sponsors na se na yako. Inti omo bua ma program ya be making 1 year ya yenyan omo mua ne omo you can say support omo de ma yen ina ama yetumi de a program ye aba ina other programs to say inspirational visitation exhortation drive time omo de aba na waye nshira na meso maye de maye nshira inti mepese meda Promise City TV online asi so pese wa advertise o product o be free 024-380-4676 024-380-4676 neti for the year kanu say numbers ni so ni bibia the TV screen ni so nti wo betumi a share say one tia afi so Benny Travel Consult omo na say wo hia bibi efa akwentu ho a eye wo ticketing visa journey bibia say wo contact omo was 0244 362445 omo be boa 0244 362445 Lighters Multimedia almost so here any media or media needs and our solution be no any graphic design and any branding logo designs ni bia they can help you and omo number is 054-817-9863 another number is 0577179863 omo ebe boao afi so nyame se yenko wiase na yenye den yemfa na asempa no yenka na obi ante aba partners afa sa we dia to omo ho se omo be ma nyame sem no ayeden akobe bibia ohia se we be den ebeti nti your program your friend no your salvation is now na ye kase po ye say ye wo upcoming one ye say nungwa for Christ omo ba na aba partners o pese we ye den obua o frɛ 024-380-4676 obetumi aboa na ye den nyamesem no ayeden ama afufro aboa nti nde no apafo ka say join yomu na ye mfa nyamesem enko bebi bebre Hemco Enterprise ya nim se insio ni bibia hu hia enti se uhia insio for wo program bia ubetumi afre Hemco Enterprise ewo 0244-32-883 mo fra ohima befa na obeboa omo wo water depot mienu baako Waterma community 2 na baako ewo do wenya nti bibia wo bia no ombetumi a supply Freeup Automation Limited. Omo into roofing and block making machine construction, batching plants, installation, modification of all kinds of machines and servicing. We hear any of nyama ya mabobosu ya. So we Freeup was 05049393995. Omo bedeng ombe boa number ni 05049393995. Number boa any bibia we de uhia. Prissy Logistics, Domusomo said they are into general clearing of goods and services, importation, exportation, na freight management, almost sign so a year door-to-door service. Into uhia umwa from 02466586161 umbe boa. Another number to me reach your 0244-777-276. Kenley Company, they are located opposite the Tema Sports Stadium, Ewo Tema Community 1. Say adiomu somo yeni say they buy and sell new or used furniture. Inti say uobia Opesa otoma na ebi wo hwa opesa oso to a wo frɛ omo 0244 219 633 a omo be de omo beboa. Another number so ye 054 514 yakọ doimu na yakọ Dominion Temple na yedi program na yeden aba area mekai mo so Mondays to Thursdays your visitation hour because of 21-day program no ye movie program to 11 p.m. enumere from 11 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Mondays to Thursdays. Wednesdays your exhortation drive time with a Rama starts at 7 p.m. And on Thursdays, you were inspirational hour with Pastor Jesse. Now Sunday, to say the na yenim no, you were health talk. Into say, "Oh, join me ya, ube to me it's ye." You be program see na, every ma unyame som akwechi. Wo health, aspirin give forward na fi so. Bibi na wo down you be inspired. Say ube chia abrabone so. Nansana me call back na mada anti Sabina aseno. 1 year, ya can sponsors. Omo boy can Apostle Benin Ajiman Prempe na Mr. Benjamin Ajiman Prempe omo my platform we are you see here. Another group of nkrofo am person met down mo ase. Eye omo make it time in our efforts bibia nka ho a yede mo but omo fi omo akumem ebe kyerɛw bibia be yeden ebe boa ye kan ebi ye anti Sabina Obesha last week or by this week so your friend on why day wa banti da obia oma 1 year programming aye bibia waiting in a ocean ye da omuna ase nti anti Sabina ansa na ye be kono to say dem kan ye da wase pa nyame nhyira na nyansa na odi ama no onto as oma more na so impacting na enko into the next generation ye da wase
mefa wakwenya so invite wetie for say coming 21st of September, holiday. Holiday. May hear that this clinic.
Okay.
In fact, ye hosting all men and all pregnant women.
Okay.
I want Nabita Hospital. That is a way a bema. Nasa Oyerenyam. Nasa one band later cry on Nabita. You come. Nabita Hospital. You come. And as also your bar, unyan fire fun, not so fire funa. Come and learn. Bema so also nyam oyire nyam fa yefuna woni ne nyina mbra mesia say can we actually narrative yeah ntwen say ebenyem ansa ya nyem so aye ho ya beboa and wonya anyem ye me I like those who are not even yet pregnant come and let's learn together na you say yes sir you say your mind ejina bia we need to start from pregnancy and ebetumi awu leaders omo be dwen ye ho because say ye nyere yi a be ya nefa so yi
that's it. It's here for to say the Muti and the 21st September, Misha wana bita na obia ayensha. It's here for me person Madam Muswa say throughout sa 1 year we mo join here. Mo boy na bibia ebe drew no. Ye bompa say nyame eni me ko enim Na uye nshira no na ye na ya de ya nshira. Ye da masipi na mebua next week ye be say yeshia. Bye bye.
Na ena me pesa wo de jeme pa my prayer my power na yem come. My prayer my power.
Courage in the Lord. Do not look at that situation. Do not look at that problem. Do not look at that dry land.
Prayer is seeking for something, asking someone, asking for something, looking for a particular thing. Thank you.
BCTV, impacting through the gospel.
Kristo ni te wo ji obi kunu so obi kunu ababone na wadua no when obi a wadua kwadu atwa bode de wodua ye no se eya ababone a eno na wo betwa na wodua papa so a eno na wo betwa wontimi ndi obi kunu achi ensu se radem mi pe kunu is an error eye arrogant eye obi a meka se nimdie mpai ba wenum nimdie ignorance prayers and a Kristo fobo so ebeye noise we awrade aso. Oh my God. Uti to be 19 planners when a jumem say you promotion, you will never have it.
Oh yes.
Yes. Do you hear me and hear me good? I'm speaking to my girls.
Oh yes.
Untari obi kuno. Nipa no so bompaye.
Jesus.
Ewade odi mi kunachi. Masama manaka amaka. Said the osimika se na utu obi tu no. Uchi chu obi sorry tia. Obi sorry tia maware. Ewade yakopam sama ne maka.
Jesus.
Sin. There is nothing that limit a man. You can let church members see your nakedness. And reduce you. When you speak, they won't listen to you. You can't even stand there and preach about repentance and salvation. Because what are you telling me? So sin has reduced a lot of great men to nothing.
Oh my God.
Sin can reduce superwoman, superman,
Jesus,
powerful man to nothing. Mama example.
Oh Jesus.
But if reduce you, I'm be ordinary man.
Jesus.
You can be a millionaire, but then you can be a powerful preacher, a powerful singer, a powerful king.
Jesus.
Because sin has reduced you. Sin can reduce a man, a superman, to ordinary man.
Jesus.
Look like a man like Solomon, a man like Samson,
Jesus.
a man like Saul. Sin reduced them. Ordinary. Disobedience is a sin. Bitterness is a sin. Unforgiveness is a sin. Mama,